Welcome back to the third episode of the Yap Track podcast. Today, we have yet again another different concept that we're doing. We're doing tournament brackets. So this was inspired by a video that I watched by Tom Scott, where he pretty much just asked his audience to take a bunch of articles from Wikipedia and just choose which one was better. And eventually, he came to a list of the top 10 best things. So I did a similar thing where I went to a website and I looked up the top 100 things, and I chose sort of the best 32, and I randomized them through a bracket, and we're just gonna go through and through this list decide what the best thing is.
Okay.
Is there anything else you guys want to input before we get started?
I'll say that there is a lot of variety. It's very there's things that should be on here and things that probably shouldn't be on here. But
we'll probably get to that as those topics come up. But we might as well get started. The first round, it's gonna be coffee versus cats.
Cats, no question. Next.
Whoa, a very strong opinion.
Yeah, well, I'm out of this conversation because one, I don't like coffee, and two, I'm allergic to cats.
Ooh, that's tough on both sides.
So cats, we have to also consider all types of cats.
Oh, of
That's
course.
true.
Yeah, you can't just say it's only the cat.
Yeah, it's not the house cat.
Yeah,
it could be also the the tigers of the world, all the cool different cats. I'm not a big coffee drinker myself, but I know it's a big for food and stuff like that, food industry. So
Yeah.
and talk about best things. I don't know. It's kind of, to me, I don't know.
Yeah, coffee. I also am not a big coffee drinker. I'm not really someone who does caffeine entirely.
Sure.
But I like coffee. I usually just don't drink it because it goes straight through me. Honestly.
What do you think, Mike?
I guess I probably drink coffee the most out of all of us, but
Okay.
I understand. I also like cats, and I understand the importance of them to some people. So I'm okay with moving cats forward to the next round.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
all right. Next round is going to be free shipping versus music.
Are
Okay.
you kidding me? Music.
Yes.
Music.
Because
What?
I
look,
can
free
live
shipping.
without.
Yeah, free shipping is okay. But imagine having a world with no
Yeah.
music.
It's one of just
Zero music.
the most important mediums of art ever.
That is.
Yeah.
It
We
is
didn't
one
get
of the
free shipping,
core. Yeah.
I'm okay with paying
Music.
a couple dollars for shipping.
Yeah, music is a core foundation of human expression. I refuse to go ahead and just let that slide for free shipping.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think music's.
It's pretty unanimous here.
It's gonna make a run.
Yeah.
It's gotta make
All
a run.
Next is books versus ice cream.
I mean,
Books. I love ice
I
cream, don't get me
know.
wrong, but the medium
Yeah.
of books has so much to offer.
I know.
There would be so many stories lost should there be no books.
It's true.
Okay.
Written history would be completely gone.
Yeah.
I think. Well, another thing to consider is we did an ice cream tier list
We did.
last episode. You should check that out.
Yes,
Yeah.
you would know our opinions
plug,
on
good
a lot
plug.
of things
But
there,
actually,
actually.
I think we saw some bad ice cream flavors,
Mm.
and
Well, there are bad books.
there are bad books.
There are a lot
I
of
will say,
books.
we gotta make this is it non-fiction books? Because there's comic books.
Well, it's
It's-
just books in general.
Oh yeah, there is. Later you'll see there will be comic books.
Oh, okay.
So let's just say general books,
Well, yeah.
not necessarily
There's so much.
pictured text.
That's the first I feel like that's one of the first mediums of communication, almost.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
That's how we learn our language.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we gotta go books, right?
There is a methodology to how we choose in this brackets where it's do we choose what is better and more important historically, or I like ice cream.
I think there will be some down
We're
here.
gonna
Though.
switch it.
Yeah,
It
it's gonna
depends.
switch up.
It depends on the things, right?
Okay, we'll keep it interesting.
I agree
We're probably
that-
about to come
okay.
to that very, very quickly.
Yeah,
actually.
So we can move on books though. All right. Next is Keanu Reeves, the man, the actor, and a 4.0 GPA.
the TV's gone, but we're
Respectfully.
not.
But we're not.
Respectfully,
It should be fine.
I don't think anybody really cares about a 4.0 GPA.
No,
No,
I
not
honestly 4.0 GPA is
The difference
overrated.
between a 4.0
Sorry.
and a 3.9 is
Nobody.
next to nothing. Nobody cares. If you have a 3.6, the advisors are happy.
Yeah.
The only thing that might change is maybe a scholarship or something.
Yeah. But Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. Would you rather have all A's, or would you rather have all the Keanu Reeves movies that he's ever been in?
I think he's pretty darn good.
He is a good actor.
And you can. It's not saying that you can't have good grades. It's just saying that the 4.0 GPA no longer exists.
You could have like
If anything, that
a
lowers the
3
bar.
is fine.
Huh.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that is
right?
interesting. If there's no
Yeah.
4.0,
That means the highest would be
fine.
probably 3.9, and that would lower the bar ever so slightly to those 3.9ers who, you know.
You'll be fine without a 4.0.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
You'll
Yeah.
be perfectly
It's more to life
fine.
than grades.
yeah.
We should
Okay.
probably fix the TV.
Yeah. Do you just want to make like a cut here?
Yes.
Hey, okay.
All
Alright.
right, we're back.
We're back.
Okay,
Alright.
anyway, goodbye 4.0, don't care.
So Keanu Reeves is moving on.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Keanu.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Saturdays versus pizza.
These go hand in hand
Okay.
now, but
they do.
wow.
Saturday is one day. Pizza can be all days. Okay? You have to consider that. The entirety of pizza being gone, that's like an entire industry.
Yeah.
Saturdays are important, right? But we're just losing what is called the Saturday.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop there from being a 24-hour period during that time, which would likely just end up being named something else should Saturdays get deleted.
Well,
If Saturdays
I think
as a day, as part of the work week, gets deleted, then that means probably Fridays would step in because of as the next.
I
All that would do is just shorten the work week because something would have to fill in for that second break day.
I think we
legally.
I think we would just get less breaks. Like I don't think we'd get a.
Saturdays are so nice, man.
Saturdays are
Like,
nice.
I feel like
a
if we
good
cut Saturdays
Saturday.
out, we're,
Well, like without, I feel like
Legally,
pizza.
there are supposed to be 2 break days during the work week. So if we cut out Saturday, Friday has to step in, and so now actually we have a 4-day work week instead of 5.
I feel like pizza influences a lot.
It does.
Like a lot of the food industry. I mean, pizza rolls aren't a thing. Like calzones, yeah.
Granted, it's just saying only pizza, but,
Yeah, but
let's be honest.
it's-
Let's talk about the theoretical implications of all of this.
Yes, obviously.
Yes.
I mean,
Maybe
I don't
Saturdays?
need pizza, man.
Oh,
Like, there's so many good foods
Yeah.
that you don't necessarily need to live. Saturdays are so
yes.
nice, man.
Saturdays.
Look, we don't.
It's the best day of the
need
week.
Anything really? We need the bare
Personally.
essentials. Like honestly, theoretically, all we really need is nutrition, slop, and water. But
Yeah.
Well,
But like Saturdays, it's the best day of the weekend because
I agree.
you don't have the first day of work, like first half of the day of working, like
Uh-huh.
Fridays, and you don't have to worry about going back to school or work on like Sundays.
yeah.
You have the whole day to do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and that's
But I still contend, right? Like if Saturdays are removed, they have to have 2 work days of the week, or like 2 break days of the work week. So
I mean-
it would legally there would have to be something that fills in that would likely be Friday or Monday, and so that just makes it so the work week is smaller.
I guess.
But I feel
I-
like that's only a thing because there is Saturdays.
yeah. I'm
Yes.
thinking of it like less about like what world is better if one's taken away. I'm just thinking like in a vacuum, is Saturdays better or is pizza better? And
Pizzas
I-
keep me
I
together
feel
on
like
Mondays.
Saturdays are better because I can go to Pizza
I,
Hut and be perfectly fine with getting a pasta
I really like
or
it.
some wings.
Oh,
Oh,
so yeah,
wings are pretty
yeah,
good.
okay, no, wings are on. Yeah, that's different.
Wings are good.
I'm gonna
Pista's
go.
good.
I'm gonna go Saturdays. I think.
Alright.
I think I'm also
I
Saturdays.
think we'll.
Okay.
They're both very good though. Those are
Yes,
both very.
yes,
good.
it's a
It's a
very
tough
good-
first round.
This one's a
All
lot
right, the next
easier.
one is air conditioning versus cartoons.
Okay.
As a Texan, air conditioning, I don't
Yes,
care.
Yes, air
Sorry.
conditioning. You don't know how important air conditioning is until you don't have it for a long time.
Yes.
Especially as Americans.
Yes.
My
That's
AC
very-
has
yes.
been out for the last 2 weeks and I've been suffering.
Yes, that's
I
miserable.
feel like cartoon was just. It was
I mean,
set up for
cartoons are
failure.
great.
They're great.
Failure.
They're
It was
great.
set up for
They're
failure.
great, but yeah, like it's.
There's
it doesn't
other
compete.
forms of
It
TV
doesn't
shows that
compete.
you can
Yeah.
watch.
It was set up for failure.
Yeah. That's,
You know, there's cartoons and then there's animation,
Yeah.
okay? It's very different.
Yeah.
All right. Next is comic books versus
I-
sleep.
I think this is another top. I mean,
Yeah.
I think sleep is.
I feel like that was also set up for failure.
Yeah.
I get no sleep, I still want sleep.
All right.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
sleep's
gotta
gotta
be
go
sleep.
ahead.
You always want more.
Yeah.
All right. Next is chocolate versus electricity.
Electricity.
Electricity,
yeah.
once
It's
again,
a sweep. It's a sweep.
You don't know
This is,
until
this is
you
a pretty hard sweep.
you lose electricity for a long time.
All right. Next is toothpaste versus clean water.
Clean water.
Yeah.
I don't need the brain eating
I'm-
microbes in my water, sorry.
I'm trying to envision a world without toothpaste, but I think there's a way you can go about it without.
I mean, there
kids
was
do use-
a long time.
I mean,
Yeah.
toothpaste
Is
being
toothpaste
gone doesn't
in
mean
mouthwash?
fluoride isn't gone.
I was about to say because you could. Still,
Well, fluoride's in mouthwash, yeah. So you could use mouthwash. Fluoride itself would still exist, and you can rub that on your teeth. Like,
And you could brush.
and you still
You
can
can still
floss.
brush. And
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
like,
still
just
brush, you can still
but
floss.
what about the world with like just like a little dirty water.
I mean,
That's nasty.
yeah.
If
So
I open
it's
up
just
my
like a
sink and
little
there's
bit.
brown
Just a
water,
little
I'm
bit.
sorry.
And that's-
what if that's all we know? Like, what if clean water just
I mean,
never
that's
the
exists?
life
That's the same
expectancy
thing.
of people would drop by 40
yeah.
That's the
years,
same thing with
realistically.
toothpaste, though. If we all don't have toothpaste, nobody would tell.
Okay, let's
That's
put it
true.
like this.
That's true.
One of these worlds, we're living like a medieval peasant. It's just one of those has to do with oral care, and the other one has to deal with
Like
a
everything.
basic need.
Yeah. I think we're gonna go clean water.
Yeah.
We're overthinking it, I think. But
I was just giving an option.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's good.
Next is
Oh
breakfast
my
versus
God.
cologne.
I love breakfast.
Food's more important than cologne. It doesn't say deodorant doesn't exist.
wait.
Deodorant's important.
You can. Is this counting breakfast foods? Because
I think so.
a lot of people don't eat breakfast foods.
That's true. A lot of people do skip breakfast.
Well, yeah, but like,
I mean, yes.
have you ever had like a good like
Yeah.
breakfast
Yes.
lunch like
Yeah.
that?
Okay,
Yeah.
with like biscuits and like gravy and
Yeah.
like the sausage. And,
Yes.
Look, I don't eat breakfast because
Yeah.
I have a terrible sleep schedule
Sure.
and all my classes are late. I still heavily appreciate breakfast
Yeah.
when I do end up eating it sometimes. Cologne is there to give you a scent. That doesn't necessarily have to exist because we still have like deodorant and stuff.
Yeah.
It's replaceable.
I think
and
it's
while
replaceable.
breakfast also is skippable,
Like,
I think it's
so
very
much food
important.
comes out of breakfast,
Yeah.
man. If I lost breakfast, I wouldn't know. What to
A
do.
good breakfast burrito, man.
Oh
With, like,
my god!
eggs and, like-
Torch
Okay, never
cheese.
mind, never mind.
Yeah.
We're not
Never
sponsored. Not sponsored.
Not
but
sponsored.
torch
Okay.
cheese.
But yeah, I think breakfast is a clear winner here. And then
Oh
this
my
one
god.
is the internet, and then finding things you thought were lost.
Let's phrase it like this, right? Finding things you thought were lost versus finding things you never thought you needed. Okay, because the internet gives you everything you ever want.
okay.
It'll also give you a lot of things you'll never want
Yeah.
and shouldn't ever. It'll expose you to things you wish you never saw. But the internet provides a lot. I don't. As much as I would love to find all the things I have.
The thing
lost,
is, I think that for us especially, internet, we grew up with the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine living my life the way it is without the internet.
simply just don't lose your stuff. Come on now.
That's also the best
Yeah.
feeling, though.
It
I
is,
know,
we do have
that's
to
the
make
thing.
that point.
That's the
like,
thing. Like,
It is very.
that's
good.
why it's such a tough one.
That,
Yeah.
That's the best feeling probably in the
like
world.
the peak feeling of
Uh-huh.
like going through a pair of pants that you haven't worn in a while and finding like $20.
Especially
Dude.
finding something like you don't have to ask your mom. You find it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a
Back
great
in the-
feeling as well.
Yes.
There
Oh.
have been times where like I find something that I haven't had or I thought I lost like 10 years ago, but it's only happened twice, and while it was immediately very, very satisfying, is that worthy
the internet.
of replacing
Because, like,
the
yeah,
entirety of
in theory, if you just were better about it, then
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
be with.
I don't usually end up losing my stuff, and if I do lose my stuff, that stuff is gone forever. There's some
Yeah.
things where like I straight up haven't found it. It's been 15 years. I'm never going to find it ever again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just needs to be said, like, that peak feeling of finding something you lost a while ago, that's great and all, but, like, the consistent, like, greatness that we have of the internet all the time,
I mean,
you just can't beat it.
we wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Without the
this is
internet.
true.
So.
We can't be making this bracket without the internet.
If the internet and electricity have to clash, this will be rough.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll figure that out in a little
But
bit.
we will, yeah.
The next is school versus movies.
Okay. As much as I hate school, I mean,
Education is incredibly
education,
important.
like,
Formal education in general.
You gotta have education to make movies. So.
Yeah. Well.
So
I
if,
guess
if the movie, if
kinda.
education's
In a way.
not
Now-
there,
nowadays,
the
probably,
movies
like,
might-
some
Yeah.
sort of
Okay. As
baseline
a
education.
CMP major.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's
Yeah.
not traditional schooling, even if you having some sort of like learning.
You can still make
Yeah.
something good, even with the bare
Yeah.
the bare necessities and all that kind of stuff with movies. But with school,
I think it's got to be school. I mean,
school objectively is incredibly.
like even if you
We gotta have it.
going
Yeah.
from elementary, middle, and high school, like those, I mean, you gotta know.
Yeah. All right, next is dogs
Okay.
versus the concept of privacy.
Hi, I like my privacy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Dogs are
I-
really cool. I have a dog.
I mean, yeah.
However,
I love dogs, but
I
privacy?
experienced.
privacy,
Oh my God.
like
Last-
no sense of
Yeah,
privacy,
that- it
you
has to be
every
both.
day,
Oh god.
Yeah.
day in and day out. There's no way.
I would go insane. Genuinely.
No, that's gonna.
We
be high
need
up there.
we need privacy.
Yes, absolutely.
Sorry, dogs. I love dogs, but we just have to.
It's
Next
just
is
such like a
toilet paper
Okay.
versus candy.
Remember 2020?
Okay.
That should
yeah.
give you an answer about the general
Oh,
consensus about what people
okay.
feel about toilet paper. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use baby wipes.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's
You
the
could
only
use
thing
a bidet.
There's alternatives.
There's
for-
alternative
That's
methods
true.
without but I don't even think candy's that important.
It's really not. I don't like candy
Okay.
that much.
Yeah.
But there's alternatives to toilet
I
paper.
like sweets. I
Have
really
you guys
do.
been to Europe or to Japan?
The bidets?
Bidets?
The bidets are like
They're a game changer, man.
sure. Okay.
They feel really
Right, but
weird
what if
the
you-
first time you do it.
But-
However,
You get used to it, and then you're awakened to how based
baby wipes and
bidets are.
bidets. Okay, you know what? I kind of am
But-
shifting now.
Look. I mean,
Universal bidets.
but I think toilet paper universal bidets are great. But like I don't think does toilet paper having toilet paper does that create like the chain of events that leads to a bidet? You know.
Well, what were we doing before toilet paper? Because toilet paper, I feel like it's probably a more recent invention than we think it is.
I
Are
wanna
we?
Google it
If
so
we're
bad.
deleting it, are we
Yeah,
releasing
can we
it from
Google
all of
that,
history,
actually?
or are we just?
Wait.
Okay, yeah. Let's
Yeah,
let's
when
Google.
was toilet paper invented? This is very important now because I actually don't know, and I would like to
When
know.
was toilet paper
Ooh.
invented? 1857.
1857.
That's pretty recent.
That's
all things
People
what
use
they
corn
doing.
cobs and seashells.
Oh, seashells.
No, toilet paper. We're picking toilet paper because if
Bro,
I'm
what
No, we're not going back to
No.
that. We're not going back to that.
I was about to say it
though.
shouldn't erase the whole history if we don't.
No.
choose toilet paper.
I
Yeah.
think
look, I love
people
candy.
would find alternatives
Yeah.
like corn
Eventually, we
husks.
get to a point to where we have an alternative.
I think there is
already
an
have
alternative
alternatives.
history
That's
where
what
we
I'm
do
saying.
end up with a bidet.
Yeah,
I
Either
think
way,
so.
Yeah.
All right,
But
Look,
I'm okay with
yeah.
conceding this.
yeah, I can't believe I'm arguing on the side of candy, but I 100% agree.
I don't really like
bidets
it.
exist,
Yeah.
man, and you just have to try like a Japanese style bidet. It there's like seat warmers on there. It's crazy, man. Anyways,
Okay.
next is sports versus bread.
Okay, initially this seems very one-sided, and then I look at it more, and I'm like, man, I really, really like pretzels. I really like bread. Like
That
I
is an
know,
argument.
I
I know,
love garlic
I know.
bread.
You have
so
to think
much.
of types of bread.
True.
I love sports, but like the saying, nothing's better than sliced bread.
I wish sports was the last
Yeah.
one. The last one, because I think the industry of sports is. I'm a sports business major, so that's
Yeah.
that's
That's,
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
Yes.
But
Okay.
the industry of sports is like $1 trillion.
Yes.
Like,
And
it
it
is
can-
a bulk of
it
what
goes into
America.
everything. It goes
Yeah.
to
But what
movies.
does the average person consume?
I know,
Okay,
but
the
we're-
poor peasants of
yeah.
the medieval age.
Ooh.
Thinking about like back before sports were really a thing.
What would we be doing?
We lived without sports for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Bread has been like
Well,
one of the first things, I bet.
I think
right?
like before even
Burgers.
like professional
Yes.
sports, like
People
sports like as a form of like entertainment has been around like
yeah.
for almost as long as like humanity's been
Yeah.
around.
Well, yeah, there's been jousting. There's been
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
there's
so that
been a
is-
lot
I
of
guess that is
different
sport,
competitions.
Like to give like bread an argument, like it should include
all
like
bread.
like
What's the
garlic
alternative?
bread.
I feel
like
like
it,
there
should,
is
it should
no
include like
alternative to bread. It's just
non
only
are types of
bread.
bread, like wraps, like tortillas are types of bread.
bread
but-
itself takes up an entire chunk of the food
I
industry.
for real feel like they've been around for the same amount of time.
Yeah, but bread like you could also just eat like rice or like
Yeah.
other forms of like grain as
I'm
like a
gonna
base.
be honest with you. I like bread more. My favorite food is
Okay,
pretzels.
I do love bread.
I
This
don't
is
know.
But I
really
think
bad.
because the option of things like rice exists,
Okay, but
I
you
have to
can't-
go with sports
but
personally.
You can't. Here's the thing: if we remove bread, we also have to think about the implications for other kinds of food. Because now we're talking pizza doesn't have its base, burgers don't have buns anymore, sandwiches don't exist basically because you're just eating the raw meat at this point. Hot dogs, no. Pasta doesn't exist because you need the bread to make the noodles.
Well, that's okay. I don't know if we can include pasta as bread.
I'm counting like bread,
It's-
like the crumbs bread.
like regular
Yeah.
bread.
that kind of bread. Okay, garlic bread.
like
though.
grain. And,
I still think like meat, vegetables, rice that's fine.
I know.
I mean, yes, it's
Sports
fine.
is such
Dude, I can't fix.
Sports goes
Okay.
into so many things that we do now, like the internet, movies, television.
it's one of the
Oh,
most
you lose
important
the Olympics, wouldn't we,
forms
too?
yeah.
of entertainment
That's the only
of
thing
all
that
time.
all countries will actually just do. And
Yeah, it's
Not-
it doesn't require like knowing like a certain language.
it's something that
crosses
transcends
barriers.
all
Yeah.
barriers of anything. So,
I feel like we'd be at war if we didn't have sports.
That's another thing. This is a
Literally.
very like tangential story, but like during I think it was like during like World War I, World War II, like during Christmas break, whenever there was like they made like a truce fire,
Yeah.
and like both sides of like I think it was like British or like French and German troops, they went into no man's land, and what did they do during their break? They like played like soccer with each other.
Yeah.
They played sports.
America would be in shambles. That's the only thing
Yeah.
we unite about. It.
Yeah,
America would be in
America
shambles,
would-
actually.
Like the NBA, like the new season of the NBA
It'd
just
just be
started.
politics, and then it's like, well,
Yeah.
everything's out the window.
Look,
That's my
I'm going
argument
sports.
for
I'm
sports.
going
my
sports.
heart is with bread,
I'm
but you
going
make a
sports.
good argument, and objectively, I have to agree, as much as it hurts.
All right. And then last for the round of 32
Oh
is
my
going to be
God,
soda
deodorant.
versus
It's
deodorant.
deodorant. It's
Deodorant.
deodorant.
I don't even like soda.
Soda's good. It's really good, but it's also like it's probably better if we don't have soda around
Yeah.
because it's just bad for you.
My
It's-
my favorite drink's lemonade. That doesn't count as soda, so I live.
Yeah.
I don't know, so
I've
good.
actually never had one. Surprisingly.
Lemonade?
Soda.
Oh, soda.
Really?
Where? Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean,
Whoa.
Soda's good.
That's a fun
Like you
It's
ever
It's
had
not
like a
that good.
crisp Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
That's a
I didn't
great
even
that's a
sip.
great fun
Colas
fact.
are overrated. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, but like
Because like
still,
when
I
was
mean,
little, it was just Sunny D and water, and then like
Oh, wow.
I just stopped. Like I got to the
Well,
age,
it's
I was like, you know what? I'm old enough. I don't even gotta.
Honestly, that's something that you should probably take like to your grave. Like that's a
Yeah.
great thing.
yeah, that's
to
a
be
great
like,
thing to be like, yeah, I've
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
had
I've
that.
just never had soda.
either that or
That's
on your
cool.
deathbed, you just you take a Dr. Pepper, you're like,
And then-
finally.
and then you flatline.
Yeah.
He flatlines because he can't handle the
It's like,
carbonation.
oh.
One more
The
sip.
entire life he never has anything carbonated, and like on his deathbed he tries something carbonation, and that flatlines him.
So
No,
I
it's-
think we're going with deodorant.
Yeah, we'll
right?
go with deodorant.
Yeah.
I will say this is
Rest in peace,
Kinda
Sprite,
unrelated.
but whatever.
wait. Rest in peace. What?
Sprite.
Sprite?
Yeah, I like
Oh
Sprite.
yeah,
Yeah,
I see.
Sprite's
What you-
great, but
I like Sprite, but I don't care that much.
it's deodorant.
This
Yeah,
is unrelated,
deodorant
but
stink.
pretty much like right
God.
before this, I had watched a video by a YouTuber called JJ McCullough. He basically just went through the history of like why are like the most popular sodas in America the way they are, and why did we choose like Coke as a flavor or like Dr. Pepper as a flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it's just an interesting video. I'd recommend if you haven't watched it. All right, so now we're on the round of 16,
All right, here we go.
and so now it is cats versus music.
Again, for all the reasons stated before why music should be winning, I
Yeah.
would state that. Also, I have to add, as a musician, also, anyway,
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
I also agree.
I think
Cats
pretty
are
clear.
cool.
music's
better.
gonna be up there.
Or
Alright.
remember the cats.
I mean, I love
All right, next is
Keanu.
books versus Keanu Reeves.
I think
The entirety. If it weren't for the books, the movies Keanu are in would not exist.
like the
That's
art
true.
of storytelling.
The art of
Yeah.
storytelling.
I think we just gotta go books. Let's not.
Yeah.
Like all of books.
Oh,
Because
no.
it's gonna set up a crazy matchup
'Cause
next time.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. We'll get to that whenever we get to
no.
that. But next is Saturdays versus air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
I think we have to go air
Yeah.
conditioning.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
agree.
we're spoiled from it. We could live without it.
We
but-
could live without it.
But
There's
it's-
countries that still
There's
don't have
there's
it.
a large amount of the world that
Yes.
still
You know, there's a
can't
lot
live
of
without
things
it.
we could
But
live without.
it's also
you
hot.
know.
It's really hot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's hotter here than most places.
This
Yeah.
is
Dude,
American
the British are
privilege.
complaining
Yeah.
about 70-degree weather. I think we deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
That's
All right,
fine.
next.
Oh my.
Oh, this is a heavy hitter round. Sleep versus electricity.
Okay, as someone who gets maybe 5 to 6 hours of sleep every night on a good night, haha, I use electricity a lot.
I would
do-
say I was in like probably like 4 years ago in Dallas when like the snowstorm hit.
Ooh,
I wish I had electricity. Like I had enough sleep.
Yeah.
To the point where I didn't want sleep. I was so bored. I wanted
That's fair.
electricity.
Sleep's
I
overrated.
think electricity also goes into like, having a refrigerator, having like
you're
the
cold.
bare essential. Like there's no AC without electricity.
Yeah.
And if we're talking
So-
about this from the standpoint of one of these is removed from the world, that means everyone. I don't have to sleep. Like
No electricity, no phones, no internet, like all of this.
If
I
a
mean,
storm
that would
comes,
be
you don't have
insane.
electricity.
Yeah.
You can't.
and
do
the
it.
alternative is we never have to sleep ever again.
yeah, and we're charged by batteries, which is electricity.
I mean,
Photosynthesis.
Exactly.
We do
Photosynthesize it. Yeah.
We would. I
Sleep
think.
can go.
I think the human race would adapt to have.
Simply.
I mean,
if
it'd
there
be
were,
way
it'd be-
better if we couldn't have sleep.
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
be
it would.
honest.
I think it would be like the production of everything just would be like way worse. But it would be like you're doing it over a span of 24 hours a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, I mean, like if this is a world where we're straight up just removing sleep, then that's cool. That's awesome, and they'll probably would be out of the guidelines because you still need to take breaks. You can still feel exhaustion,
Yeah.
for sure. But if we're removing sleep, but people still would need to sleep, remember, there's also the whole thing of after 48 hours, you start to enter psychosis and see hallucinations and stuff, and
That would be rough.
that whole thing.
That'd be really
There is
rough.
that whole
That'd be
problem, right?
crazy.
So if this is straight up just removing sleep starting at now, we're screwed.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, well, if we don't have electricity,
But I like electricity.
we can still function. Like, they functioned without electricity for a
Yes.
majority of human existence.
I know
When
I
looking
feel
at
like we're
this-
so far down now that society functions on electricity.
Oh, it does.
Like if we don't have it now, everything would collapse.
I'm choosing this based off of which one I like more,
Yeah.
not so much of which one would be better if
Yeah.
one of them gets deleted.
The feeling of sleep is good.
Yes. Do have to agree.
Yeah.
I feel like electricity wins.
It's kind of. This is like the nature of this tournament where it's like you can't really compare them, but we
No.
have to.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put my hat for sleep, but if I get overruled, that's fine.
Electricity.
I feel like we're 2-2 right now. So we,
I'm pretty on the fence still. I don't know.
I just think
probably electricity.
If
Electricity?
here's my best way I can put it, right? If we are removing one from the world, as of starting right now, sleep is a human necessity that we need to
Yes.
operate like water and food.
Yeah.
However, if we're talking objectively of which one we would like more, I always like electricity more than I like sleep, as someone who doesn't usually get sleep and usually spends my time instead working on electronic stuff. So it kind of comes down to what point of view you're coming at this from. I don't know about you, but I'm looking at this of just which one do I appreciate more, and I appreciate electricity a lot more than I appreciate sleep.
Yeah.
I think I've been convinced.
electricity.
I think I'm gonna go with electricity.
Okay, I'm fine with
Alright.
that. I'm fine with that. We'll go.
All right. Next is clean water
All right,
versus
clean water.
breakfast.
All right.
I-
I'll concede that. I love breakfast, but I mean, a big part of my mornings are always having a nice glass of water, and that
Yeah.
gets me going. So, without
Alright.
that, I mean,
All right. Next. This is tough. All right.
Oh, okay.
The internet versus school.
You know,
I'm gonna make an
I'm
argument
gonna
here.
say this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would hate myself going on the internet if there was no people with school.
That's also very
Also,
true.
I was thinking. I think people, if you're on the internet, you can still learn things.
Yes, it is a
But
giant
who's
amalgam
actually
of
gonna
human
do that?
information.
Like,
I feel like
are
homeschool
any
people,
are
yeah,
any
actually.
kids really gonna like go in depth?
I think that if in the scenario that there is an absence of school, there is gonna be a lot
Some
of people
sort of-
who seek that out through the internet.
Yeah,
Yes.
like I could look up history on the internet.
I do that
Or education.
all
I
the
still
time.
do that.
Yeah.
I know,
but
but
educational
we're like-
tools still exist on the internet. I'm sure if schooling is not a
Like,
thing,
okay,
there'd be a lot of programs.
Like, are
on
we
the
talking
internet
like
for that.
schooling? Like if like learning the alphabet. If we don't have school, we don't know the alphabet. Like, is that are we gonna go that
'cause
far?
your parents would still probably teach you.
No. I feel
Right,
like,
because
I
that's
feel
not
like
school. That's
yeah,
not,
at a
that's not
certain
school.
point, like our age, we're like wanting to know more stuff. But like a 5-year-old, you take that away from them, they're going crazy. They're not want to learn anything for a while.
I think when we're talking school, we're talking about the fundamental like existence and structure of the education system.
Yeah.
And not so much the concept of teaching people something.
Because
I
I
guarantee
can
you-
still teach.
because
Like I
it's
can still teach my kids.
Parents
to
would
do
probably
that.
like it would
Yeah.
just turn to like essentially into homeschooling, really. Right?
Yeah.
So
Like more like community.
Either that or it would just be like
Yeah.
more like daycare.
there would be like online.
stuff
There would
like
be
that.
more programs specifically for teaching people stuff. I mean, there already is stuff for that, but
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if school
It's like
is not a
alternative
thing.
learning.
Yeah,
Yes.
it would pop.
That
up.
would still exist, but that would be like the main.
But I also
Yeah.
feel like personalities would shift entirely. A lot of our
Surely,
values-
yeah.
It
Oh,
would,
yeah.
but I mean,
I mean, yeah, one of the biggest reasons why public schools and that kind of thing are very, very important is because they provide that social aspect to kids for development, which is heavily important. That's something a lot of homeschool kids end
Yeah.
up missing out
Yeah.
on and become usually
I think,
very.
Also,
I think
also-
there's more ways to do it.
Yeah, I was about to say, never mind. It
Like-
got to be the internet.
Yeah.
Like if we
People
talking
can
about
make
like
friends every day on the internet.
yeah,
Yeah.
you say that, and you can also just do like daycare and other things. That,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, you can still like interact with like your community
Yeah.
outside of like the context of like
but
education.
and the internet
Yeah,
helps
yeah.
with that. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go internet.
Internet.
All right, next is privacy versus
Privacy.
candy.
Privacy.
Next, I'm not even gonna. We're not even gonna.
Yeah,
all right.
no.
That was real quick. All right, sports versus deodorant. These kind of go hand in hand.
They do
a
go
little bit.
hand in hand.
I would not want to play sports with a man.
without
Never
deodorant.
had deodorant.
I remember
That's
the middle
crazy.
school locker rooms. I
it's-
remember the locker room smell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm good.
But
I'm
I
on
was-
deodorant.
Was there an alternative
Okay,
to
but
deodorant?
wait.
Like, is there an alternative?
It must be
it's
like
the same thing with toothpaste though. If nobody ever wears deodorant,
Like,
over
no-
time,
people kind of get used
yeah,
to like
you'll get used
human like
Plus, you
smell.
can still shower.
God,
You
it-
That is true. We
that's
could just
true.
shower
Yeah.
often.
We can still
Okay, that's
shower.
true. And there probably
It would
There's
just
body
be more
wash.
often.
There's
yeah,
body
and new
wash. still.
products would
Yeah.
exist. New product.
Yeah, we're
yeah.
overthinking.
And,
We're just thinking
and
like
hey,
smelling bad.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's just deodorant.
Sports.
Okay, you
It's
know what?
sports.
It's
Fine,
got to be
fine,
sports.
Fine, yeah.
Like the entirety of sports as like entertainment.
If we picked deodorant there, we would have put that over bread, which is just
Yeah, oh,
I
that's-
wouldn't have done
yeah.
that. So yeah, that's kind
Logic,
of we got to keep
okay.
going. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
alright.
now
Oh,
it's gonna
that-
get crazy. Round of 8.
Okay, look.
So, music versus books. This is
Clash of-
truly
Clash of Titans.
a Clash of Titans.
You know, one of the oldest forms of storytelling was that through song.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I was thinking.
I mean-
I was thinking music, but we're at a point now where you don't need books for music.
we at now, yes. Books are
is like
incredibly
a
important.
fundamental
Yeah.
like
God.
necessity.
How
Like-
else do we like transcribe text like that?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I can't answer this because both are so near and dear to my heart. So I'm gonna
It's
bow
so
out on
tough.
this.
I'm
one.
gonna say books. I think I know how much music is important. I think this could be a final matchup. Like honestly, but I think books, like genuinely, there's so much value in it that
You could argue like very similar things for music as well, though, because it can't be like nearly as long-winded as a book can be, but you can still do storytelling through music.
That's people do that.
Hey, you know, if
So are we
books
just-
don't exist, audio record. Well, I guess it depends, but audio record. No, I literally can't take part in this conversation. I can't.
I think-
I'll fight for both sides.
I think like I think that part of like transcribing something becomes much more challenging if you can only do it through like music.
yeah, you're right about that.
But in a world that is like devoid of all music, it feels so like
Most people
just think
listen to
there's-
music to read.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
but like think about like some like a scientist's findings. He writes a book like dedicated to that. Are we gonna, that's like crucial. Always have to
do
make a
we-
song
does he
about it,
need a-
you know?
Does he need a book? Like, if we take books away, are we just like
It needs to
alphabet
be-
goes, or like
no, it just needs to be purely like verbal, or like no other real like.
because it's like if you
written
can write it on a
transcription.
website or something, like if you taking that away,
But I don't.
I mean, okay, if
that-
it's talking books, it's not necessarily covering writings itself. It just can't be a collection of pages.
Look, it also like. I think like religious texts like the Bible and stuff that's so important to like so many other
Yeah.
things.
That's
too.
also true.
But also music is.
It is, yeah,
But also
I'm about to say,
music is.
Music is a huge part.
It's
of
a
it.
huge
lot
part.
of religions do it off of music
It's
too.
just-
So
I mean,
Written history.
I'm gonna say books still, but if
I think-
I'm fine with it.
I hate it, but books probably.
Yeah, I'm very slightly. I'm like 51%
Yeah.
books.
Yeah, same.
yeah,
All right. Next,
Okay.
well, okay.
No.
Air conditioning and
it's
electricity.
dependent on electricity.
Yeah,
So
so
it needs to be electricity.
if anything, electricity just absorbs air conditioning here, and we just move on with electricity.
yeah,
'Cause it's part of
exactly.
it.
Yeah,
Like
electricity is
it's
all-
just
all in-
a sole dependency
it's
on
all
the other.
encompassing.
Okay.
Clean water.
Clean water versus the internet.
I'm willing just to say right now, the internet.
Dude, stop.
The
the
internet is
internet-
so
Stop.
huge, man.
Stop.
We kill the internet now.
You drink soda?
Electricity
You
swoops
drink
in
soda?
and
No.
grabs it. Okay, like that's all I'm saying.
Hey.
Electricity doesn't exist because otherwise we're gonna have electricity versus the internet, and
You have to think of like non-American people. Like some people don't have clean water, and don't have the internet,
I
and so
think-
like they're fighting for clean water.
yeah.
Like,
But like, what if the water's what if the water's only like a little dirty though? If it's
But
like
are you saying like 99% clean but 1% dirty? So that
Okay,
is
but what's in
technically
that
dirty
it doesn't
water?
even have to be. It could.
all
I
I'm
would be
saying-
able to bargain a little more.
All I'm
If I get to
saying
have
is,
the
like,
internet.
Look, the 1% of dirty, if that has even one singular brain-eating amoeba, you're done.
I'm not saying it has to be a brain-eating amoeba.
There's a chance if it's contaminated water. There's a chance.
Like-
it's
there's
E.
a certain
coli.
threshold
There
where,
could
like-
be E.
Would you
coli
drink-
in that
would you
water,
drink
my
water
man.
from the Red River.
No.
There's no
No.
clean water.
I just
Okay.
wanted to advocate for the internet fans.
The
I love the
internet
internet.
is going to fall. Electricity is going to absorb that real fast, so
Yeah.
we'll just consider that as part of the electricity now.
Okay. I'll acquiesce. All right. Ooh, okay. This is privacy versus sports.
Okay, I mean, this is...
Privacy. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean...
I need my...
I think we undervalue... I think this is a sleeper pick. Privacy...
Privacy is huge.
Privacy...
I go
and-
insane. Last winter break, right? I had to give up my room specifically so that outside of town family could go ahead and have somewhere to sleep. So I was sleeping on couches and stuff
Yeah.
for a month.
Ooh.
Privacy. I will kill a man for privacy. I was
Man.
losing it.
A
by the
month
end of
is
that.
kind of crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Think about, you where you live. No walls, no nothing. Going to go shower, doing, all this stuff.
Yeah,
just
sounds
being
good.
about your day.
You don't
Maybe
get-
no
Someone could just,
curtains,
yeah.
No windows.
No windows, no curtains,
There's
no...
always someone
no walls.
watching.
Yeah.
No walls.
Privacy.
I will say, I do agree. Privacy, I do choose privacy over sports. But what would the world look like if, from the beginning, we really didn't have
Sports
privacy?
might not exist, but games still do.
Honestly, I feel like
It'd be more like competition.
if we were never with
Yeah.
privacy, we probably wouldn't care. But,
Yeah, I'm saying would that how would
It's not
humans
removing
act, behave
competition.
differently?
Well, I'm sure we come with different things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we always have, we always will. There always will be something else.
We'll just have no shame if there was just no
Yeah.
privacy in
Or
anything.
we just
Yeah.
separate.
Oh, there would be so many mental illnesses without privacy. Oh.
Well, that's assuming if we take away privacy now.
true.
If we
It's like,
started
if we
without
started
privacy,
without
then
privacy, we
do
didn't know
those
any
even
better.
do those ever develop in the first place? Maybe not.
It's
Maybe
just-
they do.
I'm gonna go. We got no privacy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was just wanting to
Yes,
explore
yeah,
that
no,
world in
I
my
think-
in my head.
oh,
All right, now we're in the semifinals.
Okay.
Fundamental.
So I want to rephrase
Books
this to books
and
or
electricity.
ebooks, because if electricity exists, then that means there will be digital writing too.
I'd rather read it.
But do we get the digital writing at all in the first place if books don't exist?
Right. So
Okay,
that's
so
what I'm
how
thinking.
are we gonna do this?
Yeah,
We
how,
have to
how do we
decide
want to
on
approach
this.
this
It's
question?
either
Because-
electricity in its longevity from when it was created to now, or we're saying electricity
in general.
and
Yeah,
across
because if
the
we're
board.
talking about which one gets, if we're talking from the perspective of one of these is removed from history forever, then objectively electricity doesn't win this because
No,
books
I
are
feel
so
like
very
we gotta
important.
go
But
based
if
off
we
of-
are going off of the present times,
Yeah. Ebooks would have to leave too, though, because that's not. I don't feel like that's fair.
You really?
Yeah, that's not fair, really.
Digital writing.
Yeah,
digital-
because most of what we do now is digital writing.
That's why. Yeah. So this is either really
Hey, people-
sided towards one or really sided towards the other, and
I
it comes
just-
depending on which
I
way
just
you
think
go
we
at it.
lived without electricity.
We've lived without
Yeah.
books.
Well,
But are we? I'm talking
yeah.
ancient times. we
the
lived without
time
books.
that we've
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
like,
most people couldn't read.
We've
in
lived
the
what?
ancient
How many
times.
years?
But, like,
electricity was
yeah.
Reading was a
Early
privilege
Well, I
to
would say
nobles.
we lived without electricity, but we didn't have cities full of 20 skyscrapers.
that's true.
So if we take it away now, things
Yeah.
would go horrible.
The time that in the times that we did live without electricity is so far removed from, or books, I guess, is so much further removed than
when we had electricity.
when we
Yeah.
when we didn't have electricity.
But they still went off.
I think okay.
Are
Are we saying if we get rid of it now, or are we saying if it never existed?
I feel like we
Never
gotta, for
existed.
this we gotta say now, but we can't. I don't know.
What did we do? What did we do previously? We said
We've
Never
done all of
existed.
them.
We've done,
every.
different
We
approaches
have
to
a
these.
diff. Yeah,
It's
we,
Yeah.
making it hard.
we did
Okay.
not have a consistent approach when looking at these.
I'm still gonna say books.
I feel yeah, I think in either scenario, either present day or its history, in its entirety, books is just so much more important.
Yeah.
even if you take the perspective of modern day and remove it.
yeah.
So
I mean, I have to agree.
Yeah.
I think we just have to concede.
all right, and then next is clean water versus privacy.
Well,
this is
okay.
really weird.
I'd rather
One
say
is
water.
a
It's gotta be clean water.
yeah, it's gotta be clean water.
One's a literal safety hazard, one is just preference.
It's a
And
little
I
more
mean-
than a preference.
when it comes down to it, it's just
It's a little.
We.
It's really weird to
can't
compare
argue
these.
for dirty water.
We really
I'd
can't.
say-
But what if it's a little dirty?
Shut your no.
We can't. We can't.
people go to war over
People
water.
can live
I
off of
don't-
a little dirty
I don't
water.
think people will go
No,
to
we
the
need.
lengths
Look. If no privacy exists and we're all just like that now, fuck yeah, that's fine. Clean water. Not
good.
even.
I think we go clean water.
I just wanted to fight for the sake of fighting.
All right,
and
here we
then
go.
this is the grand finals. Books
Clean water
versus clean water.
I'd literally go insane if there wasn't clean water.
Yeah, no clean
I mean,
water.
It's not. We're not doing
No,
dirty
we're
water.
not doing
not-
this.
I- I-
We're not doing this.
There's like
But books,
it'd be
man.
a zombie apocalypse type thing. if we
Dude,
didn't
the
have
life
clean
expectancy
water.
would drop by about 60 years.
I'm not saying it has to be like disease in the water. If it's a little dirty.
If the water's
It
not
feels like
clean, there's always a
some
chance.
minerals, some rocks.
Okay.
Okay, that's not dirty water though.
That's dirty water.
Dasani is not dirty water. It's weird water.
Yeah, but
freaky
like-
water. We've talked about this. Go check out
freaky
the
water.
list. However, look,
I'm
Look,
rocking with some
okay.
freaky water. I rock with some freaky water.
I mean so sparkling water is basically freaky water when I think about it. But
Ooh. Yeah,
It kinda
I'll
kicks
take
back.
one freaky water.
can someone make that a brand?
Oh,
Like,
that'd be a
that'd be a great brand.
Fucking
I
kicked out,
would sponsor. I
Is
would
it
excuse me.
I know that one scene on SpongeBob. He's like, "Remember up those fryers," and he kicks them out. That's
yeah.
I would voluntarily be the face of freaky water. That'd be awesome.
Just on the shelf next to like Topo Chico, it says freaky water.
It just says freaky.
No,
and,
no,
like,
no, you think
It's
water
like-
is freaky.
I want that one.
Oh.
Anyway,
anyway, yeah, no, give me that thing.
yeah, I think we gotta do clean water.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh my.
So I
Mark
guess-
is complete.
What? Where is it?
Mark
Oh,
as
mark as complete. Bang. Saved and completed. That is our bracket. I think this is safe, so I can probably share this in the description. So if you guys want to play at home, to go through this bracket and share your results, I guess you're more than welcome to do that. But that's all we have for this episode. I guess it's a little shorter compared to other episodes. We're trying to go for something a little different.
If you agree or disagree with anything on this list, by all means, say so in the comments. Of course, our reasoning for every single one of these kind of shifted by the by. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I think
we didn't have a consistent.
we should have established that before.
We probably should have.
But
No,
what's
it
the
was
fun in
more
that?
fun
Yeah,
this
what's
way.
the fun in
Let's-
that?
let's-
What's
let's
the
be
fun in
entirely
that?
honest here, clean water was going to win no matter what, right?
We probably wouldn't have gotten to that freaky water joke if we didn't go
That
through
is
this.
true. That's true. That's true.
Um,
Things were meant to happen this way.
But yeah, I guess that's the end of the episode. So if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe, and to share with your friends. This is something.
If you make freaky water, hit me up.
Oh yeah,
Hit me
and let us know at home. What's your definition of freaky water?
Yeah, look.
Share recipes in the
marketing minor right here,
comments.
marketing minor, just saying. I can
Yeah.
help.
All right.
Anyway.
all right.
Well, I guess that's it. So, bye guys. Bye. Nice.